Did you know that the benefits of detoxing include improved energy, healthier skin, weight loss, a stronger immune system, stress release, more mental and emotional clarity, and in my personal experience, a greater connection to my truth and purpose? And there's other benefits as well, which I'm sure we're going to learn about in today's episode of Blaze, a place where we examine, go deeper into tips, tools, teachings, and techniques from across the different traditions to help you to embrace your woo and share it with the world in the ways that are perfect for you. I'm Surya Krishna, your host of Blaze, and today we're talking with Caleb Garcia Taylor, an expert in detoxifying. Now, I met Caleb a few months ago. I heard about him before I actually met him. I heard about him from a couple of friends, and he seemed like a really interesting guy and somebody who I wanted to meet. And the way that I met him was at an event that he held at his amazing rooftop place that I'll allow him to speak about a little bit more, where we watched a movie called Moulin Rouge, and he offered bits and bites of the different foods that he prepares to assist in the physical detoxing. And I got to talk to him a little bit, and he was a very interesting individual, and I knew I wanted to talk to him more. So I set up a meeting, and his expertise is more in the physical. And I knew that I wanted to get him on the show, and I also knew that I wanted to collaborate with him. And so we are. And he's here today to talk a little bit more about himself and the amazing space that he has. So, Caleb, welcome.
Thank you, Saria, and so we are. I love that. I love those words. Really great. We are here. We are present. We are dialed in, and we're creating. So that's the most beautiful thing.
It
I
is.
can give just a brief background on myself. I think you summed up some really amazing points, and I thank you for that. And I can let everybody know a little bit more and tell you a little bit about my detox journey as our interview unfolds. But I embraced natural healing, alternative medicine, with detox being a staple of that, always a staple of that. At a very early age, my mom has been a healer for years in that space, and she's been a nerdy researcher person for as long as I can remember. And I'm 43 years old now, so she has pretty much a whole lifetime of it. So I've worked under her and in the wake of her progress and the wind of her sails. And it's been an amazing experience because I was able to expose myself to a lot of education and things at a very early age that really assisted me in all of my young adulthood, and now being a middle-aged person, 43 cycles long, I say. So through that time, I've always been a dedicated researcher as well, just learning more and more about different healing modalities, the baseline ones, how detox works, how it works individually with each one of us, um, delving into the mechanics of it, but also the emotional aspect of it, which goes hand in hand with our physical aspect, which leads to our spiritual one as well. Um, Lately, I've been doing deep dives into the energetics of it, and that's really completed my whole holistic path in abilities and skill set. And I've had the really unique experience. of opening up this space, which is for the community and also for others as a retreat space in downtown Playa del Carmen. And it's a rooftop. I mean, I'm from my hometown is Chicago, which is an amazing city in the summer because in the winter it's deadly cold. But because of that, there's so many amazing rooftops in the summer. There's just hundreds of rooftops. So I'm, as an air person, really, really in a great place right now because I basically work and spend all my time on this rooftop and just in the open air. And it's a palapa on the roof and just plenty of space to do all of our detox regimens. And right now, I'm kind of in the garden area, which the next layer down is the earthing circle, which each of you will become more acquainted with the acoustics of the sound healing in the earthing circle. It's because we converted an empty pool into a sound healing earthing circle, replete with earthing mats. Bringing up the frequency of the earth because this is a concept of the center as earthing and detox. And right now, I'm sitting right in the quantum healing energy chamber where I have some very advanced Tesla and Wilhelm Reich orgone devices, which create a 2D bubble for manifestation, overall well-being, euphoria, and a detox. They're also used for a very specific detox since it's a non-polar environment. Um, Charged particles like heavy metals that are polarized suddenly become depolarized the longer you stay in it. So it's a very manifestive, special space, and it's really created an environment that's very special, as evidenced by all the events I hold and the feedback I get and the clinical clients I come in here. Everybody wants to sit in this chair. The first thing, and, they
Yeah,
don't even know exactly why, but they make comments about it. So, and just the
love
overall
that.
environment itself. So
Yeah.
together with Surya, I, was able to get a concept down with Jose, who you've also met or will meet, and he is he's an amazing yoga master, and we put together a concept and a format for an outstanding retreat for body, mind, and soul detox. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me, my background, Surya. I was able to round out a lot of experience in the last 4 years in Istanbul and Turkey, and now I'm back in North America, and I'm thrilled to be here. I'm also my career in marketing and fashion design has also brought me to uh, understand the mechanics of color and how healing color is
Mm,
as a healing modality too.
fascinating. Can I just back up? You've said a couple of things that people might not be familiar with. So I'm wondering,
Sure.
so the first one is palapa. What's a palapa?
What is a palapa? You're not going to know unless you've been to Mexico already. It's a structure.
Exactly.
It's a structure that's kind of with a very tropical wood. It's made out of tropical wood, and then the roof of it is kind of like a pyramid. And that's what drew me to this
Mm,
space too. It's like being in a pyramid, and it's a pyramid out of tropical wood and straw, and local straw. I mean, everything in the tropics is just built. This tropical wood, you can't even drill a nail into it, and the straw is also so hardy. I mean, just being in the tropics, Surya, I know you can attest to that. It like you have to level up, just as soon as you get here. And the point is just to keep on going, to keep elevating and keep ascending and keep inviting people to do the same.
yeah, definitely. Keep up leveling, I think. And that's one of the things that um, people are going to get when they come to the detox retreat, which I'd like to talk about in a little bit. Um, I'd like to go back to the chair that you're sitting in because I've had some profound experiences sitting in that chair. When I first went to your place, I didn't know anything about it, nor about the Telsa devices that you've got in a triangle around that chair where you're sitting right now. It's not, it's
Mhm.
more of a chair hammock thing.
Yes.
It's comfortable. It's amazing. I want to share with the people what happened was, um, for me personally, I was getting this rash because I was doing a detox using some juices. And I was getting the detox of the heavy metals coming out through my skin. So I was getting a rash. Sat in that chair for 10 minutes on Caleb's advice, and the rash began to disappear. Fantastic. Um, can you talk about the other benefits of the Telsa devices and sitting in that chair where you are
Mhm.
now?
Yes. Well, just sitting there will definitely here just really connects you to yourself, and it permanently installs euphoria into your mind, body, and soul.
Did you
And
say
but
permanently installs
permanent,
euphoria?
permanently. And the longer you sit here, the deeper and more gratifying that euphoria will be. These devices are all about euphoria, and euphoria also being not non-polar, it kind of gets us out of the polarities of love and fear. Although it's very so much associated to love, you know, but it's almost like you see the frequency chart, and you see joy being above love, and you know, it kind of makes you think about the potential of that, like, you know, a world where euphoria and fun and joy is the driving factor, of course love being very closely associated with that. But it does install euphoria. This is an initiative, a worldwide initiative using these amazing devices. They're called bubble tech. And the quantum physicist Mike Emery that invented these devices just has tons of papers on academia.com, and he has Facebook pages, and you know, all these resources where you talk to people and their experiences with them, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It's miraculous because it really brings you into that 2D space where everything will start in 2D before it goes up into the aethers, into 3, 4, 5, 6D, and all the way up. So it's kind of like the drawing board. So you really have to be aware of your thoughts while you're here, because in the Riviera
Mm.
Maya, we are on magic waters. We have the largest underground river system here, which the waters are absolutely magical if you're familiar with the cenotes and the whole river system here. So it's very manifested. Everything's manifested. But with these, they call them bubble genies because they will very much like telepathically connect to you and assess your needs, and have been installed with the intentions of healing you. And so that's why, no surprise at all, Surya, that you experienced a very tangible, measurable healing just by sitting here, because that's what they've been instructed and installed as far as the intention to do. Since this is a healing, this is more of a clinical space. Of
Mm.
course, we do a lot of fun events and cultural stuff and community stuff here, but it's mainly clinical, you know. So so yeah, I have so many stories just from myself personally using these devices, and I definitely want to share those with you as far as, you know, how powerful they can be, and of course get your feedback once you come here for the retreat.
Yes. I mean, that in itself sounds like it's enough to come to play, to have that experience, to
Oh,
sit
absolutely.
in
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Amazing. And you also talked about the earthing mats. Can you talk a little bit more about those as well, and the space that you've created in that pool, or what used to be a pool?
Yeah, what used to be a pool, it has a great deck around it, and that's where we hold our workshops and our ceremonies, and that's where we do our earthing, because we have a lot of copper earthing mats that cover that space, and then I have a lot of sand over it. So it's kind of like being at the beach, even though you're on a rooftop, which is very fitting for Playa del Carmen, because it's all about the beach. Of course, the majority of our earthing that we do is on the beach, which that's where the more powerful effect will come. But of course, I wanted to incorporate that modality into the space itself. And it's kind of a nice juxtaposition because it's where the earth meets the sky. That's where I say. And just so people can, like the event that you attended, they can, you know, lay down and watch a movie and earth at the same time, or they can have a poetry, spoken word experience while they're earthing, and just have be grounded into the experience. And of course, we use it as a healing modality because it is a healing modality. That's what resets our biology, and um, it's it's what reprograms our DNA. So
Hmm.
um, right now, detox, because we're just up against so much, Surya. We need all the help that the earth can provide us. We need all the help that the universe can provide us, because detox is very much our new lifestyle,
Hmm.
or it needs to be. Most people have the retox down, which is toxifying themselves, but they forget. A lot of us forget to leave out the detox part. And in Playa del Carmen, it's such a wonderful place because it's a small town. It feels like a megacity because there's so much here, and there's an amazing conscious and spiritual, health-driven community,
Hmm.
and then that's contrasted with the other part of the community that's is the tourism. That's mainly just about partying and drinking and abusing substances. So it's such
Detoxing.
a huge contrast. But so I just call it's the land of detox retox. Detox retox, rinse and repeat. That's what we all have to be into right now. I mean, we're going to retox by default, just being alive right now, but we have to make the detox a big part of it. Yeah.
So I agree. I haven't thought of Playa del Carmen like the detox retox, and I can see that polarity within Playa del Carmen, definitely.
Hmm.
And I think those of us who are focused on the detoxing, on connecting with our truth and higher self, and awakening from within, really taking care and nurturing our physical form and our emotional self and our energetic self. Uh, it's amazing. What what are the things that the devices and the grounding mats, the Telsa devices, the grounding mats, what are the things that uh, are we are detoxing from when we use that?
Well, I've curated these particular modalities just because we all need a genetic reset to our DNA right now.
How come?
Um,
Why do you say that?
Well, I think because of the coming of ages, as we go into the age of Aquarius, the knowledge of our ancestors is coming forth, and who they were and what they were capable of, as divine beings fully activated into this holographic experience. And we realize we have that potential latent inside of us. So, right now, as we acquire more awareness and knowledge of this coming of ages, we can use a lot of these physical modalities and into the quantum space too, to accelerate that awakening, that activation process. And a lot of us have been, experimented on as guinea pigs, with a lot of these different medical practices that that alter our DNA. So we need a way to reset ourselves at our will, not at the will of someone else's. So
Yeah.
all of these things can be very empowering because they give us that ability to
So
see the results.
so things like the 5G and the funny clouds that are created by the airplanes, those sorts of things. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I mean it's really just prolific now. The things that we're up against, and these things are really not things to take lightly because they have a
Hmm.
huge impact on our overall will-being. I say will-being, not well-being, because it's what we will. But yeah, we're up against some very heavy contenders in a lot of these things. And when it comes to our physical body, and as it goes up into our other bodies as well, and the connection between those, for the physical, it's really just, if there's ever anything wrong, it's just two things. It's only ever two things. It's only ever two things, and usually a combination of both. It's just either a toxicity problem or a nutritional problem, because really we're that simple. We are really that simple as far as in this physical vessel. So usually it's when we are sick, or when we're sick and experiencing any variety of symptoms, it's because of varied levels of toxicity and lack
So,
of nutrition. We need the building blocks and the strength to clean ourselves out and to keep ourselves clean and on a path that's where we can do high functioning, you know, because we want to really come into our full potential of high functioning.
so what are the symptoms that you were talking about? What are the symptoms that we could use a detox?
Well, I think right now the radiation that everyone is exposed to in their own homes, outside their homes, you know, and the things that we're breathing in, the heavy metals we're exposed to in our foods, in the air. That's what we want to do. We want to detox from that kind of exposure. The radiation exposure is much like any kind of toxic substance. It's a concentration of toxicity, and it comes out of your skin. It creates brain fog. It creates anxiety. It kind of like is a mechanism that keeps us in that fight or flight, the four Fs or the five Fs, the survival mode, where this is the time for us to really come out of that. So those are the type of symptoms. Anything from chronic fatigue to not being able to concentrate to whooping cough. The amount of because we're breathing in so many heavy metals, the radiation is going right into the metals in our lungs and creating all kinds of pulmonary problems and different coughing and different flu-like symptoms because of that. So these are what these modalities address. During the retreat, we're going to do some general things and also a breakthrough thing. Um, but I can tell you a little bit more about that as we go on.
Sure. So, thank you for that. So, if people are experiencing brain fog, if they're got unusual flu-like coughing symptoms, if there's a general fatigueness,
Mm-hmm.
um, in my case, I was having skin issues. You
Yeah,
know,
skin rashes are another big one of them. Because
yeah.
our skin is so sensitive. Anytime that we're irritated by that amount of radiation, it's going to be reflected directly into the skin. You know.
So, really, any kind of like health issues, as well as mental tiredness.
That's what most people are confused about because there's all you go to the allopathic medical world and there's thousands of different names for different conditions and diseases and any combinations of symptoms. But really, when you go to the holistic world, you realize it's really a lot simpler than that. Uh, it's just it's just yeah. So if there's high levels of toxicity like the radiation, like the heavy metals, it's going to manifest itself primarily in certain ways, but also in any other number of ways too. So
Right. Um, so these devices that you have researched and have brought together on the rooftop are an invaluable resource for people that we're going to be able to access through the retreat. There's another part that you're bringing specifically that I really want to emphasize because I enjoy it, and that's the food aspect, the nutrition. Caleb is an amazing. Oh my God, he is so good. So, could you maybe talk a bit about the importance of food and what you'll be sharing at the retreat around that?
yes, that's the other element of the retreat that makes it unique because we're going to be doing mild detox with one breakthrough detox, which is kind of like a get in and out type of a situation. But I don't want to. I don't want to trigger a very heavy detox during the retreat. Um, but I do want to educate people on the things that they can do daily, and just the little things that add up that creates a lifestyle of detox. Because that's the lifestyle that we are in by default right now. So that's the most important type of thing, just empowering people. And it starts with the food we eat too. Just the basic things. Stop consuming what's making us sick, and start consuming things that um, are not going to harm us, that are going to be less harmful, that are harmless, and then things that actually give you the type of nutrition and elements and things that you need to be able to repair yourself and clean yourself out. So, and I want to show people how pleasurable the experience can be, because with my menu that I serve here at the clinic, it's a raw menu. Of course, heavy on liquids, but it's very much gourmet, very tasty, and
Very
there are
tasty.
things that like our raw nachos, for example. It's just just explosions of flavor. And the vegan ice cream, which is a huge staple because it's practically liquid. But we need energy to heal too. We need energy heal. Fasts are great. Fasts are great if done properly and under the right circumstances. But the type of the type of daily things are the things that I'm focusing on. So food is a part of that. So just showing people how easy and fun and colorful and vibrant and abundant the eating experience can be, and the how remunerating it is, how beneficial it can be, because we're going to be following an intermittent fasting diet or regimen or food program or almost lifestyle or soon to be lifestyle. And I just want to people. Of course, we have so many activities planned. That's a big part of it. Just get feeding the food out of the way within 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and have the rest of the day for all of our activities and our regimens and everything too. But to make the experience super fresh, the food down here in the tropics and in this part of Mexico, it's so fresh and flavorful. Of course, we want to people experience that fully.
Yes, 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 yes. Do you have a tip or tool for people that they can take away today that they could use now?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But are you looking in terms of like what for detox specifically, or just general, or?
Yeah, detox specifically.
Yes, yes, of course. When you wake up, instead of going for the coffee, go for the water. Consume 6 to 8 cups of water with some minerals, whether it be a completely pure sea salt or Himalayan salt, or some other type of minerals that you do. Because when you take water in, you need to remineralize. But just I love the salt, because when I have the salt with the water, it gives me an instant electric spark,
Mm.
and
Yep.
that gets me going. It flushes me out. It leads right into elimination, which is what you want to do as soon as you wake up too. And so it also provides the water I need almost for the rest of the day. So the rest of the day, I'm rarely thirsty. Well, also because I eat so much fresh food, which also is water,
Is
but
there
which.
a particular salt that you would recommend?
Yes, I would recommend pure Celtic, or sea salt. Just make sure it doesn't have any, fluoride or iodine added or anything. Just make sure it's the pure stuff, because
Right.
that's the most anything from the sea is going to be with those minerals too. But the Himalayas also have that. They also have that from,
Yeah.
from
Amazing. So your
the
top tip for people is instead of coffee, go for water and
Mhm.
Celtic sea salt.
Water and Celtic salt. And then the other tip I have is how how to do that, because for a lot of people that's not so easy, you know, because making that transition. So what I recommend is what I teach for all of my modalities that we want to continue when we return home or put into our daily lives. I continue to teach some neuroscience behind that, and the questions, the curiosity, the enlivening of that energy, and the energy of fun, celebration, and what we call micro actions and activation energy. So micro actions are just what we do on the micro that set the tone. That because our subconscious doesn't know whether we just finished Mount Everest, climbed to the top of Mount Everest, or just basically did something micro like um, like stretching our hands or arms before we get out of bed. Something it's you get 1 point in your subconscious for each of those actions. So it's just about how we set the tone and the things we do and the points we rack up with our subconscious mind when we set our habits that are so important. So the micro action for that is just going to be like waking up, for example, as you get out of bed, just closing your eyes and saying, I am water, I am the water. That would be your micro. And
Okay.
then working up with activation energy just to be able to have everything prepared for you the night before. Because what's so hard sometimes is the activation energy, like, oh, I have to reach for a cup, I have to fill up the cup 8 times, I have to, is like sometimes that's a deal breaker for most of us because it seems so overwhelming. It
Yeah.
trips our amygdala. So we want to just have like a delicious before you go to bed. Just make a pitcher of water, put some mint leaves in it. It's summertime. Put a couple of berries in it. Just have that ready. So as soon as and I love putting some fresh rosemary too, with a little sea salt, and just have that cool and ready for you. So when you wake up and you say, I am the water, okay, you open up your fridge and there's this beautiful vitamin water there, which is mineralized. And you're just like, okay, now I'm ready. And then before you know it, you drank the whole thing. So that's the type of thing. Or just being as simple as having the bottled waters lined up for you on the counter. Uh,
Yeah.
so as soon as you wake up, they're already there. So
Prepping
those are
the
my
night before.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. So good. Um, these are wonderful ideas. I love the idea. Like, I know having salt and water is so important for my hydration. Um, and it's so important for the physical body. Such good tips. Uh, what sorts of things are you going to be providing at the retreat? At that
What's
MBS
that?
retreat? Sorry?
Can you repeat that for me?
I can. What sorts
I'm
of
gonna, you
things
know
are
what,
you
Saria? I'm gonna have to just plug this computer in. I'm gonna go in really quick, so I don't want it to.
Okay, no
Sorry
problem.
about that.
No,
Yeah.
that's okay. I think we're taking longer than I thought we would because it's so fascinating. The information that you're providing is so valuable for people. So I'm really
Uh-huh.
grateful that you've taken this time with us. Um, and so what I'd like to know is what is it that you'll be providing for people at the retreat? We've talked little bits about it. And so what are you planning?
Okay, so for the retreat itself, we're gonna do some detox regimens that take us through the whole day, but things that we can work into our day because I want to show people how it doesn't have to be the mainstay. Like for example, you're gonna have your amazing workshops and teaching, and we're gonna have a lot of fun activities. We're gonna be very active. So I don't want to go into people to go into full detox mode where all the things are coming out and they have to be sedentary and laying down and they feel
Can,
bad. So
can I ask
mhm.
if they want, after the retreat, if they want to go into a full detox, will they have that opportunity with you?
Yes, oh, absolutely,
Okay, cool.
absolutely. We can do the more intensive things if they just schedule some time after the retreat. But during the retreat, I'm just going to teach more of the daily things that you can do, that we all can do that work in, and even the more intensive things, that can fit into that too. So I do want to just take people through just their schedule. Here's what you do when you can do what we're doing when we wake up. Here's what we do at lunchtime. This is our eating window. and the different herbs and the different detox modalities that we put into that. It's going to be pretty much the whole time. Even at nighttime, there's some compresses. There's some, there's some castor oil compresses that we're going to get into for our different organs, depending on how the status of our organs. And of course, we're going to do some individual questionnaires to start things off, just to see where people are at. And we're going to have those submitted before the retreat starts. And, but it's going to be full circle. It's going to be mild detox measures, but things that we're incorporating even when we sleep. So the thing about that kind of detox is it can be very highly effective, and it can be almost just as effective as the more intensive detoxes that are like very rigorous, So I want people to experience the subtle energy of it. I don't want to trip people's switches and, have people become overwhelmed. This is not that type of a clinic. There are those clinics here. There's so much here in Playa del Carmen, and that's the other thing. We're scheduling some other treatments from some of the other clinics that we collaborate and partner with too. So there's the harmonic egg chamber, sound and light healing. There's the Pandora star, pineal gland activation. There's so much that's here. It's really mind boggling. So people are going to get an opportunity to experience it all, because though there's a lot of a la carte things that people can add to their experience as kind of like a customized, tailored thing. But I want them to have the energy to be able to do that. And of course, our big day out at the cenote and some of the special sites we're going to be visiting. So yeah, the detox plan is regimented as such that we can easily take it home with us and continue with it, and to where it's not going to be that kind of a detox where it's just going to lay us out where we need to just be in bed.
That can happen when you're detoxing. Yes.
We don't want people to go comatose during the retreats, So, of course, it's very much on the quantum with the energy devices and everything that you're teaching, which is just absolutely incredible. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's going to be your portion is going to be a very practical thing for people that they can easily implement at home, as well as having experiences like sitting in the chair you were sitting in, the grounding mats, the compresses, and experiencing some of the other modalities that are available here in Playa del Carmen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And don't forget the food. It's all about the food.
All about the food.
It's all about the food and the abundance of the food too, because we can do an intermittent fast and be fully satisfied and not feel any of the hunger pains or any of that. We can just bypass all of that and just have it all about euphoria and joy and pleasure and new awakening experiences. And that's what we want,
Yes, new awakening experiences. Sounds brilliant. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share with people?
Yeah, I think that's full circle. There's so much I can say about everything that I've touched upon, but the purpose of this is just to give people an overview of what the program, what the schedule is, what the experience is going to be like, what the space is like, so that they can go ahead and feel great in participating and sharing this amazing experience with all of us. So,
yeah, I'm very excited about the event. So it's the MBS Detox with myself, Surya Krishna, Caleb, and another individual, Jose, who I will be interviewing in a couple of days. That interview will be posted soon. We're going to be sharing with you our expertise around detox of the mind, the body, and the spirit, so that we can connect more deeply with our soul, truth, and higher self. So you can live your most authentic life, to live in a way that is authentic for you. And so, Caleb, if people have more questions, how can they get hold of you?
Yes, well, I am available Um, let's see. I am available again on Instagram because, of course,
Instagram.
I'm doing this space. So I'm back on Instagram, even though I was a long time off of it. And I would be happy to share my email, which you can include in the description, and even my WhatsApp, so that if anybody has any questions or anything like that, I can definitely make myself available.
Which
And
one would
also,
you prefer? What is your preferred way?
Um, well, as much as I dislike WhatsApp, it is pretty convenient.
It is,
So,
isn't it? And it's pretty popular here. Yeah. So maybe
yeah, 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 exactly. So I'll just put that out there. But actually, if your audience is not um, on WhatsApp, I can also share my email because I know a lot of people from the state. It's they're not really using WhatsApp, but the good thing is it's also my phone number, so you can just text me if that case. So I'll just share my WhatsApp then
let's go with WhatsApp.
and
That
my
sounds
Instagram.
yeah.
Let's just
And
go with the WhatsApp and the Instagram. Then.
so we'll go
Uh-huh.
with WhatsApp, and people can also email me, and my email is in the description, and it's accessible as well. And if they've got questions for you, I can always pass them on. Right. So we'll
Wonderful,
put your WhatsApp and my email for people.
wonderful.
Um, any last words of wisdom from Caleb before we wrap up?
Well, words of wisdom. Um, I can just say that I will share a free gift as far as in a PDF version. Just that program for any the biohack neurology behind starting any new habit, any new thing that you want to incorporate into your lifestyle. Just the neuroscience of those energies that I referenced to the energies of asking questions, curiosity, celebrating every win, micro actions, and activation energy. Just a little, just a one page thing where people can just look at this and okay, this and this. Just a very straightforward instructional, for that. So
Brilliant. I'm excited to look at it. Sounds amazing. Very cool. And so we'll put the link for that in the description as well. So we'll put your WhatsApp, my email address, and the link for your free gift.
okay, wonderful.
Sounds amazing. Well, thank you so much, Caleb. It's been very informative, and I found it so interesting. Every time I talk to you, I find you so interesting. You're such a wealth of information and practical opportunities. I know that I've received so much benefit mentally, emotionally, and physically connecting with you. And so I'm really grateful for that. And I'm really excited to be facilitating the retreat with you that's coming up. I was going to say the dates, but we're moving the dates. And the
Yeah.
reason for because of the weather here in Playa Garmin, we're experiencing an unusual storm. So we're going to be moving the dates a couple of weeks. Stay tuned. Watch your emails. I'll be updating you as we go. I think that's it. Have I forgotten anything, Caleb?
I think you covered it all. I can't believe it. You're such an amazing interviewer, Surya. So I knew you'd have a knack for this. And of course, here it is.
Thank you, Caleb. It's been a pleasure to have you, and maybe we can do it again.
Oh, anytime. Absolutely. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
So I
Much
hope
wholeness
that
and
you
gratitude.
have gotten. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah. Oh, I said much wholeness and gratitude to you. Yeah.
Namaste. Namaste. So if you've got any questions for Caleb or for me about his programs, about the rooftop, about the retreat, please feel free to ask. Email us or use his WhatsApp. The links will be in the comments below, in the description below. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the retreat. Bye for
Okay. So
now.
bye now. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.